congrats on the win.
Thank you,
First
Megan.
home win.
Let's see if I have my voice here after tonight. These games are adding up on me.
Already.
Yes.
For this game, in the first quarter, you're held to just 13 points, but then you outscored the Clippers in the last 3 quarters of this game. Yeah. What changed and what was significant for your group?
Yeah, I think we were pretty stagnant at the beginning of the game, just overall offensively, and that affected us on both ends of the floor. 13 points. Give credit to our guys for responding in that second quarter. I think we had 33. So we go into halftime feeling pretty good about ourselves that we could definitely play better, but we were definitely too stagnant at the beginning of the game. Had more movement, and I thought our second unit really got us going, whether it was Trent Watford coming in, Dennis with pace. Those guys really gave us a boost tonight when we needed it.
In that fourth quarter, how big were those defensive stops that you guys were able to get, and how did that fuel the offense that you guys had?
Yeah, Megan, I told the guys we kind of imposed our will at the end of that game. You know, it's 2 minutes to go in the game. I think a 4 or 6 point game, and we get 3 offensive rebounds, and then we end with a score. And so the effort and the concentration behind playing each play until the end of it, give our guys credit, and we played hard tonight.
And for Cam Thomas, he went out in that third quarter. How is Cam, and how is that ankle?
Yeah, he had to be removed from the game. We'll know more tomorrow. He will get an MRI tomorrow.
I mean, what kind of spirits was he in? Did you actually have a chance to talk to him?
I have not, Brian, not yet. I addressed the team, then came straight here, and then I'll go talk to him afterwards. But all I was told, he'll get an MRI tomorrow. The fact that he didn't finish the game, I know, Cam wants to play, so we'll see what that looks like tomorrow.
Jacque, that 3-minute stretch with Mikal on the bench, again, another lineup kind of put together with injuries. They were able to push it to a 10-point lead. Yeah. What does that say about not just the depth, but, again, just this group kind of like, again, the chemistry of this group kind of finding a way to get it done?
It was interesting. We mixed the teams in preseason and in training camp, and for some reason it's coming back to be a positive for us. I talked about that to our coaching staff. Sometimes you don't do that. You get your first and your second team, and you let them play together to try to form chemistry. We saw the positive in this group, that different lineups could be out there and different guys could fit into the system, and it happened tonight. Mikal needed a break. He wasn't going to be able to run the whole 12, so he needed a break. He was tired. And then for that group, Lonnie, Dennis, Trent Watford, Doe was out there, Royce was out there. Dayron gave us great minutes tonight. It is why I like doing this, man, to get a bunch of dudes together to try to have a common goal and be unselfish on a nightly basis and try to get a win together and compete harder than the dude in front of you. That's the greatest part of team sports right there.
Lonnie with 21 points tonight. I mean, this is a guy who came in on a minimum signing, and you're giving him the ball in the fourth quarter to run offense for a large stretch there. Can you just talk about what he's been able to do this whole season and the luxury of having a guy like that who you can give the ball to and trust to create in those situations?
Yeah, definitely, Eric. Someone that, for me, I've seen him from afar. Great acquisition for us this offseason. And I'm just growing to trust him more and more. You're spot on. We drew up after timeout plays for him. We also ran pick and roll for him, specifically at the end of the game, just because a lot of times he's going to have a favorable matchup. And he's making the right decisions, whether it's the reads of getting to the rim, getting fouled, scoring off the bounce. He has the ability to do all that. Now, I'm going to keep addressing the defensive end, helping us rebound, coming to box out, being in the right position. So we'll keep coaching him, but he's done a heck of a job.
What did you think of the tempo with Ben out, and what did you think of your half-court offense maybe having to rely on it a bit more without him?
Yeah, this was going to be an interesting, collision of styles tonight, just because they wanted to play extremely slow. That's just how they play. You saw the other night versus the Knicks, what that score was at the end of the game. So we were really trying to push tempo early. Weren't very effective doing that. I think overall we can grow in that area, that make or miss with or without Ben. We have to push the basketball. This half-court style of basketball is a tough way for us to live. We want to stay away from that. And we've accomplished a lot of things. Like the other night, we had 5 turnovers because some of our sequences are 1 and 2 passes, good looks, and you don't give yourself a chance to have a turnover. So the mix of being able to execute when we are in the half court, but the favorable part of getting out and running in transition, that's number one priority for us.
And what did you kind of think of Los Angeles as they're bringing Harden into the fold? How did you think they looked tonight as they're kind of, I guess, putting those pieces together?
Yeah, second game for those guys. You see the talent, and they're going to figure it out. Like I said before the game, they have a coach who's done it before at a high level. They'll have a lot of pieces they can put out on the floor at different times of the game, different lineups. No Plumlee tonight also, so he's a dynamic big for them. That's a good ball club.
Coach, 45 points for the bench. You kind of touched on it already, but what's your impression of how ready that second unit has been to start the season?
Yeah, and you take a guy like Trenton Wofford who practiced earlier and then played in tonight's game. And so a guy who has dedicated himself, and the entire bench has, to keeping themselves ready, whether that's extra work on days off, whether that is doing extra conditioning after the game when they haven't played. The professionalism that we're trying to create and the standard that we're trying to create hopefully allows these guys to excel when they get their opportunity. We talked about it from the beginning of the year. Every guy will get a chance to play this year, without a doubt. That's just the way I coach. I believe in it. I believe in being a part of a team, and you get rewarded for that. Some nights it's going to go well for you like it did for that group tonight, and you give them a lot of credit.
Jack, I think we talked earlier about you guys not being a team that forces a lot of turnovers, but that fourth quarter, that's kind of what fueled you guys' rally a little bit. What maybe changed where you guys were able to just kind of, create those turnovers?
Evan, I'm literally talking about, we talked for like 35 minutes before the game about how can we create more turnovers and where we ranked that turnovers and what was the difference and what happened and who we play against. And it's been stressful for me on my mind thinking about how we can create it. Overall tonight, our guys were just more aggressive. They just reacted. They just did it. Didn't worry about if it was going to be a mistake. And that's where you get to if you're going to create turnovers. There's a level of risk that you have to take. I told Mikhail he had the best risk-taking play. He ended up getting a turnover in the game, and it's that commitment to do it over and over again. But it's some risk involved, and I don't mind. I'm a risk taker.
Well, he says last one. I was going to make this twofold.
Go give me a twofold, Brian. Go ahead. Last one, twofold.
With you weren't going to be up in the 20s anyway with fast break points without Ben. So considering how half court it got, how important were Day-Day's minutes? I think he scored 9 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He hit both free throws.
Yeah.
In the run that put you ahead. Just how important were those minutes that he gave you?
Yeah, huge minutes because, there's a time in the game where I have to make a choice. Do I come back with Doe? And then I'm toggling between what Ty Lue's doing, if he's going to react, if I take, there's a little gamemanship going on at the time. So I thought we could stay big at that time and hopefully offensive rebound just because that could help us in the half court. And Day-Day did what he does best. He can rebound the basketball. He finished plays, which is great for him. He's grown in that area. And then the free throw piece just give him a lot of credit for working on that. But his ability to rebound for us, we'll have to lean into that at different points of the year. Tonight we toggle back and forth between playing small and big, and he continues to put it on my mind why we should play big sometimes.
Did you see the play where Cam got hurt?
I did not see it on, but I asked the other assistant coaches, and I heard he did step on the foot. Yeah. All right, guys, indeed. Oh, man.
I was going to say Keon dueling at the Fog.
Look at you, huh? Non-reviewable back at the Fog, though, huh?
That's home cooking back at the Fog.
I had to use the timeout on that. I had to at least, hopefully I was hoping that he gathered it at least.
Yeah.
But he can still put that picture on his wall.
Yeah, exactly.